Intel Committee will drop this new report, Silencing Schiff for Good, by Aaron Moreno for TruthFeedNews.com. Well, this should finally shut up Adam Schiff once and for all. The House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence voted today to release the GOP committee's report on its Russia investigation, which found no evidence of collusion, coordination, or conspiracy between the Trump campaign and the Russians. From Fox News, the report will be released to the public pending a classification review by the Intelligence Committee. Last January, we set out to investigate Russian active measures during the 2016 election. Today, we are one step closer to delivering answers to the questions the American people have been asking for over a year. Representative Mike Conway, who has led the committee's probe since last April, said in a statement Thursday, the committee's vote Thursday morning to release the report comes just 1 week after the Republicans announced the end of their Russian probe and the fact that they found no evidence of collusion and that they disagreed with the intelligence community's assessment that Russian President Vladimir Putin has had a supposed preference for then-candidate Donald Trump. The Democrats on the committee, led by Ranking Member Adam Schiff, also released their findings last week, noting that Republicans prematurely shut down the committee's Russia probe. Schiff, following the committee's vote to release the Republican report Thursday, called the Russia probe a sad chapter and called it a completely political document. But House Permanent Select Committees on Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes, who stepped down from leading the probe in April of 2017, invited Democrats on the committee to submit their recommendations to the report. The report, which will include minority views if the minority submits them, presents the comprehensive results of what the committee has learned during its 14-month-long investigation and will be useful in thwarting any attempts by Russia or any foreign powers to further meddle in U.S. elections, Nunes said in a statement Thursday. The report has a series of findings and recommendations that show a pattern of Russian active measures in the U.S. through cyber attacks and social media to sow discord. Don't blame the Russians. The Democrats are sowing enough discord for everybody. The report states that Russia conducted cyber attacks on U.S. political institutions in 2015 and 16, and that Russian state actors were responsible for the dissemination of documents and communications stolen from U.S. political organizations. This poses a serious threat to future U.S. elections. How about trying to get those Soros machines out of the country and leave the Russian meddling alone? We can make up our own minds as to who we want to vote for, including the primary elections that are already underway. Yeah, we saw what happened in Alabama and Pennsylvania there. What's going on with that thing with Pennsylvania? Conway said it's critical to release this information now to protect our country and our elections from foreign interference. The way this country is going at this point, nobody's going to be bothering interfering because it's such a mess that they're making over here that nobody's even going to be bothering with our country because it's going to be, messed up. It's already messed up. Further, the report goes on to state that the FBI's notification of Russian hacking victims was largely inadequate, that the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and the Department of Homeland Security's statements attributing election interference to Russia was ineffective. We know that already. People can make up their own minds. The executive branch's post-election response was insufficient. They should be bringing charges against George Soros and those machines. And how about those groups that he funds to sow discord in the country? What are they talking about? You know what I'm trying to say? And they want to invest some. I heard from BP Earthwatch today on the channel where he had a news broadcast. They want to invest some kind of money in election fraud. What election fraud? Throw out those Soros-based machines and crack down on Soros-funded organizations to sow discord in this country. Soros has to be brought up on charges. There's no way if he's not brought up on charges, nothing is going to help this situation. Further, the report goes on to state that the FBI's notification of Russian hacking victims was largely inadequate. I'm repeating myself. That the Office of the Director of National Intelligence in the Department of Homeland Security statements attributing election interference to Russia was ineffective. The executive branch's post-election response was insufficient. The Federal Bureau of Investigations opened an enterprise counterintelligence investigation into the Trump campaign. Look what we're investigating. We're investigating the wrong things. Do you see what I'm saying? We're investigating Trump-Russia collusion. I was spending millions of dollars on this, yet Soros is running rampant. I mean, Hillary is running rampant. Investigate the real things that need to be investigated. You know, you get frustrated with all of this. After receiving information related to Trump campaign foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos, the report read, as part of the enterprise counterintelligence investigation into the Trump campaign, the FBI opened an individual counterintelligence into Carter Page, who was a plant set up by the FBI just to be able to get the FISA warrant. They used Page. Page used to work for the FBI, worked for the Clintons back in the 90s. Give me a break. Executive branch officials at the same time, members of the Obama administration, according to the report, did not notify the Trump campaign that members of the campaign were assessed to be potential counterintelligence concerns. You expect Obama to do anything? He's working for the other side. You know, they talk about, other countries, yet, it's like we're divided into two separate parts. The report notes that the now infamous anti-Trump dossier compiled by British ex-spy Christopher Steele formed an essential part of an application to the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court to obtain electronic surveillance on Carter Page. Ask the FBI why they used Carter Page to get the FISA warrant. Why don't you ask the pertinent questions here? The dossier was paid for by Hillary Clinton and her DNC campaign as opposition research against Trump. The committee also noted that Special Counsel Robert Mueller indicted former Trump campaign Chairman Paul Manafort on several charges that are unrelated to the Russian witch hunt, but none of which relate to the allegations of collusion, coordination, or conspiracy with the Trump campaign. He was just going for blood. That's what Mueller was going for. Anything and anybody he could just get on any kind of charge. You know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, we're paying millions of dollars for Mueller to keep his good salary there. The report references the Republican Party platform during the 2016 election, specifically the charge regarding Ukraine, which resulted in a stronger position against Russia. Let's ask John McCain about Ukraine. Anyway, not a weaker one, and noted that there was no evidence that Manafort was involved in that change. Yeah, no, Manafort was out to make a couple of bucks. That's all Manafort was there for. The report outlined that none of the interviewed witnesses provided evidence of collusion, and noted that the committee found no evidence that President Trump's pre-campaign business dealings formed the basis for collusion during the campaign. And how much did we spend to get this answer? We could have told you this from the get-go. Just ask the American public who they voted for. The committee's findings state that there is no evidence that the Trump associates were involved in the theft or publication of Clinton campaign-related emails. We already established that. Why is Mueller not asking Kim.com? He has the evidence. But Mueller doesn't want to ask that because he's drawing the millions for this witch hunt. Clinton campaign-related emails, although Trump associates had numerous ill-advised contacts with WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks was a savior to this country. It woke a lot of people up. The committee found no evidence that the meeting between Trump associates, including Jeff Sessions and official representatives of the Russian government, including Ambassador Kislyak, reflected collusion, coordination, or conspiracy with the Russian government, the report read. Yeah, Jeff Sessions said hello to Kislyak, and they set it up that way so they threatened Sessions to recuse himself. All a total setup. The report also notes leaks of classified information from intelligence community and suggested damaged national security and potentially endangered lives. How? Anyway, moving right along, former director of national intelligence, James Clapper, now a CNN national security analyst, you're kidding me, provided inconsistent testimony to the committee about his contacts with the media, including CNN, the report read, yet he's still walking around. The majority staff outlined a summary of recommendations for Congress and the executive branch. Well, when they're off their vacation, maybe they'll get something done, but I doubt it, because they're all compromised in Congress, you know. That's why they had the IT worker, Imran Awan, collecting all the data from them. You get it? You get it? They're all compromised, these people. So we expect Congress to now help? No, it won't happen. But Schiff and Democrats on the committee have disagreed. Really? Yeah, because he doesn't want to get caught in his shenanigans, that Schiff guy. He disagreed with the majority of the Republicans' report and said last week that there is significant evidence of collusion. Yeah, but on the Democratic side, not on the Republican side, noting meetings with Trump associates and the Russians. How about the Democrats meeting with the Russians and collecting a lot of money for it? All of that bears the issue of collusion, Schiff said last week. And of course, one of the most important parts of the investigation is putting the pieces together. We already have put the pieces together, Schiff. Schiff said Thursday that the Republicans' report was an unserious effort. Our work goes on nonetheless. Schiff said Thursday, yeah, your corruption still goes on because nobody has been arrested as of yet. No charges have been brought against anybody, you know, and they play dirty. They play dirty, and it's very frustrating to see this take place. While they're playing dirty and investigating the wrong side, spending millions of dollars investigating the wrong issues, meanwhile, Russia's cracking up. They're saying these people are absolutely off their rocker. What are they doing? You know, the whole government is a mess. Basically, that's the bottom line. And Trump can't do the work that he was elected to do because of all this this garbage that's being spewed every day. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.